Welcome to the session. This is our second session for this batch. Yesterday, what we have discussed, I'll go through it high level. We discussed about what is the database. Okay, why we are going for Oracle database. We have more than 500 plus databases is there in the world, but we chose Oracle DBA. Why? Because it's most popular and most used databases. 70 to 80% of the companies are using Oracle database only. If you learn this, you will get jobs compared to other databases. 70 to 80% of the organizations are used this database means we will get 70 to 80% of the jobs. Okay, totally, I mean to say. Okay, it is very user friendly and secure database. We also learn about the prerequisites. Today we are going to learn these things. To start Oracle database, you need to have a basic knowledge on Linux commands and basic knowledge on the SQLs. These two part I'll cover today. And then if you want to install this database software, you need 8 GB minimum RAM in your system and 100 to 500 GB storage is required. Also, we discussed about the DBA roles and responsibilities and common Oracle DBA tasks, installing the database software, creating the database, upgrading the database, user management, shut down and start up the database, storage management, cloning, patching, so day-to-day activities like migrations and all. So monitoring and troubleshooting of the database performance. These are all our duties. Also, what are all the tools? As a DBA, we are going to required and we are using. We are using Putty, WinSAP, SQL Developer, or Toad. Toad is a licensed one. SQL Developer is open source. Okay, and then those we covered yesterday session. Okay, I'll share that recording session if anyone is required later on. So today we are going to cover about basic SQLs and basic Linux commands which is required for DBA. So basic SQLs means as a DBA we need to interact with our database, right, day-to-day wise. So I'll show you that as well. If I want to interact with this database, how I could interact this is by using OS commands and also SQL commands. So it is important to communicate with the database. To read the data from the database, we need a SQL command. To update or insert the data into the database, we need a SQL command. So basic SQL commands, if you learn, that is fine. So to perform, this is the one, to create a table or to add a data file or to create a table space or table, to drop a table, modify the table, give the permission to users, creating the users, to do all the activities on the database, we are using SQL commands only. Very simple, this one. Okay, there are 5 types of SQL. Excuse me. There are 5 types of SQL commands. 5 types of SQL commands we have in Oracle. Those are DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, and DQL. I'll tell you each one of them. This is data definition language, data manipulation language, data controlling language. These two are the query committed command and the transactional controlling languages. We'll go through one by one as well. This is high level, guys. If you want to go through in depth of these things as a developer, SQL and PLSQL developer, they will go through it. As a DBA, we just understand what exactly the DDL commands, what exactly the DML commands, what this DDL command will do, and what these DML commands will do. That's it. Nothing much. So as part of the basic SQL commands, here it is, the complete diagram for the SQL commands. So DDL, data definition language, it means create, insert, create, drop, alter, and truncate. If you are performing any one of this command, create command, drop command, alter command, truncate command, those commands we call it as a data definition language commands. And the DML, data manipulation commands, insert, update, delete, call, explain, call, and log. Most of the times we used to use these 3 commands: insert, update, delete. Okay, these are all the DML, data manipulation. Manipulation means it is going to change the existing information. Okay, insert, you are going to insert new data. Update, if you are going to update the existing one, you are going to modify that. So delete, you are going to delete the data from the database. I'll give you that in next few slides. So this is the DML things. And TCL commands are commit. Whatever the transactions you are going to insert in the database, you have to have committed. Some of the commands are by default committed. I'll tell you what DDL commands. So if you write create, drop, alter, truncate, these are by default committed one. DML commands are we have to have give the manual commit. So this is one, this commit under TCL command. Save point is required as and when we are going to. So if you are not going to suppose you have inserted some data, if you don't want to do that insert, or else if you want to roll back that, if you want to remove that without commit, you can use the rollback command. What it does is it will roll back the data, whatever the update you did, that will be rolled back. These are also not that much of importance as part of our things. And DQL, only select command. Query language, this is data query language, means it's a read. If you want to read anything from the database, this is the DQL command, that is a select command. And it's a controlling commands, means you have created one user in the database, so you have to provide the permissions, roles and responsibilities related things for that user. The user just reading the data, or the user should have the extra privileges, those writing privilege, insert privilege, update privilege, delete privilege. So how we are going to provide those? We can use this grant command, and then we can provide. And what is this revoke? Revoke means as and when the user has some privileges, after some time the user doesn't require that privilege which is that user is having. So we can use revoke command to revoke the privileges from that users or from the objects in the database. We can use grant command to provide the privileges, revoke command to revoke the existing privileges. That's it, guys. You just aware of this create, drop, alter, insert, update, delete command, commit and rollback thing, select, grant, revoke. That's it. As a DBA, this is more than enough for us if you learn these commands. So clear cut, we can go for that. DDL means data definition language, as we discussed. So DDL, if you want to do some create operations, if you want to do some delete operations and alter, what is the create? This command used to create a database or its objects. If you want to create an index, if you want to create a table, anything you can use create one. Create user, username identified by the password. Create table space name we can give it. Okay, by using this we are going to create index, create function, create views, everything. Okay, and alter means whatever the existing structure is there, if you want to change that structure, like if you want to, I have created my user in the database, I want to reset that password for that user. How I do that? By using alter command. Alter user, username identified by the new password. We will go through these commands as well as part of user management and other, as and when we are going to change anything. So alter will use for changing the structure. Deleting the objects, drop command. Truncate also, it will remove all the records in the table. Slight difference in between truncate and delete. Commit, comment this one, this is okay, that those are not required. Rename is required as and when we are going to do the table space management. There we are going to rename our table space and renaming our other data files information by using this command. Okay, as part of alter command only we are going to use this rename option. So these are by default committed things. You don't need to commit these things. Okay, DDL commands automatically it will commit. But DQL, data query language. Query means to retrieve the data. Okay, only select query. If we have a we are going to create a read-only users on your database. Read-only means we are providing the select privilege to that user. It means that user can read the data. He or she cannot do anything on the database. Okay, and data manipulation. These are non-committed one. by default, we have to commit. As and when you are inserted some data, you have to commit. Until unless you haven't performed the commit, the data will not store permanently. Okay, that is one thing. That is where we need to learn these basic things. What is DDL command? What is DML command? If you insert the data, if you update the data, if you delete the data, you have to have enter the commit option. Otherwise, the data, whatever the data you did, that will not save. So grant, it is, as I said, it's a providing the privileges. Okay, if user is created and we are going to provide the select privilege, update privilege, and so on object to that user we are going to give. Okay, suppose I have created a rack demo user, and that rack demo user, whenever you are creating any user, that user doesn't have any privileges by default. We have to provide connect comma resource privilege. By default we have to give. And what will happen, I'll show you as part of that user management clearly. At that time you can able to understand that. Grant is just providing the privileges to the users. Revoke is to remove the privilege, whatever the privilege. Now we have given the select and update privilege, right? If you want to remove this update privilege from this user, some underscore user, you can use revoke. Revoke the privilege update on this table to this user. That's it. Revoke update on this table from the users, whatever the users we are going to revoke these two privileges. Now example syntax, this one we are going to revoke that. The TCL, transaction control language. So commit and rollback, it is important. These two are the important. As and when we are going to perform DML operations, we have to use this commit option. And if any user is not, any transaction is not required, okay, after inserting or update, you by default instead of one value you have inserted another value. If you want to roll back, you can do that. But if you committed no, you have to drop that and then you have to reinsert that one. Once you commit, rollback will not work for that value. So before the commit only, commit means permanently saved. That's it. Rollback means it won't save permanently. It will roll back on from the temporary, from the temp location itself. Or I can say cache level itself. It not the temp, cache level. Yeah, these are all the basic SQL commands. Okay, if you can go through this text, I'll share this as well. These commands and the structure is fine for our DBA. Apart from that, we don't need to create much SQL statements in our database. But if you cross more than 5 years or more than 6 years experience in that as a DBA, it is better to learn writing the queries and also troubleshooting the queries, performance level, explain plans, this calls, explain call, and other things you can learn. But up to 5 years, it is not that much of important, or they will mean no one will ask you to do all these things. That is high level, like L3, L4 level, they are performing. Okay, if you know the basic things, then you can plan for next level. Okay, next one is Linux, basics Linux commands. I'll show you that on lab directly. Linux basic commands. I'll show you these commands on live today. I'll tell you that we want to know first of all how to connect to that server. That is one thing. And also CP is a command. Copy. If you want to do any copy operations on the Linux, you can use CP command. Oh, this copy. And if you want to rename, use the move command, rename. I'll show you that as if you want to change the directory. CD means change directory. I'll show you what is mean by this change directory. Change directory. One step backward. CD space hyphen hyphen. One step back. CD space path or dir name. Mean directory name. So if you give in this way cd space the path or directory name, it will move to that path or go to mentioned path. So these are all the basic things. ls list of the files, list of the files. ls-altr, it will give the clear cut list of the files with details, which users are related to that files, which directories are related to those things. ls-altr. pwd, present working directory. Also ls-ltr a. In some interviews we will get how we can identify or how we can read the hidden files. Hidden files we can able to see by using this a option. Okay, list of the files including hidden files, we can able to see that. Okay, and then view, vi, to view the files in Linux, vi command and vi space file name. Which are the file you want to view, you can use. Another one also we have cat command to read the file. This one is view the files. This is editor. I mean, we can edit and then we can view it. This is vi, editor one. If you use the cat without editing, without edit, we can read the file. Okay, touch file name. Touch is the command. You can create an empty file. Empty file, we can create it. And remove is there. rm. Rm means remove. Remove file, files only. Rm space hyphen rf. Remove directories. Directories and files differences we know, right? In a Windows we have, if you are going to create a new folder, that we call it as in Linux directory. If you want to remove the directory, you can use rm space capital R and F. R means recursively. Whatever the files inside of the directory, that will delete first that, and then that directory will be deleted. Remove files, it will delete only the files. Rm command, remove file name. That's it. Rm directory, dir underscore name. It will remove the directories. Okay, that is one thing, but it is very, very sensitive and most dangerous command in the database level. As and when you are going to use this remove command, okay, make sure once or twice you can cross check again you are going to deleting the proper file or not. Okay, also while you're using a vi command also, most probably if you want to update anything inside of this file, then only you can edit. Otherwise you can use cat command and the file name. Don't use vi also much. If you after you edit it, there could be some other mistakes will be there inside of that file. Due to that the file will be corrupted. So this is also one dangerous command. So to read the files you can use cat only, and if you want to create an empty files, use the touch command and you can create it. Okay, ls is there, copy cd. Okay, and also we have few more. Sudo switch user. S means switch, user. Sudo switch hyphen oracle name. Here in this way also you can give to switch this user, or you can give switch hyphen oracle to connect oracle OS user. In place of the oracle you can give username. I'll mention user name, whatever the user you want to switch. Users in OS. So OS level, if you want to connect switch su hyphen username or sudo switch hyphen username, you can give it to that. I'll show you that as well. If you give simply switch hyphen u hyphen, it will directly connect to root user. Hyphen means root only. If you are not mentioning any username, it will connect to root user. You have to provide the root password. That I'll show you. Yep, nothing much. And if anything comes as part of the practice, I'll show you. Only these many things. And we have tail command also there. tail-10f file name. If you want to tail the any one of that file, tail means last lines. -10 means last 10 lines of this file. Print last 10 lines of this line. We can use tail. If you want to see the starting lines, head option, HED. Head. You can view starting lines of the file. This one, view last lines of the file. This tail option. Okay, I'll show you these things now. Okay, these are the commands. Mostly we are using copy. Move command also very rarely we can use. CD command, CD -, CD -space, ls -ltr, pwd command. These are all the regularly we are using these commands. Apart from these things, we have other commands also that I'll show you as part of this requirement. Okay, I'll show you that SQL commands, right? If you want to interact with the database, we have to connect with our database, and let me show you that where it is. Mobile XTEM. Instead of putty, I'm using mobile XTEM. Why I'm going to use this means it is very flexible. If you want to open your GUI, mobile XTEM is a flexible one. If I want to connect to this putty and if I want to do this, GUI will not open here. I need to set the display and properly. Sometimes the display will not work, so GUI will not work. GUI prompts, like mostly if you want to install the database software, if you want to connect to ASM command line, not the command line, GUI prompt, ASM CA command, configuration assistance. Those commands we need to set every time the display in the putty session. So better if the company is allows, you can use mobile XTEM for flexibility. See, here also we need to, if you want to connect to the putty, you have to save the host name, user ID and password. So then only it will, password mostly we have to save in different ways. But in mobile XTEM, right, one time you logged in, the password and user ID automatically saved. Suppose this one, if I want to connect this server, I'm just clicking double click. Directly it will connect to the server. I no need to give the Oracle user ID and password. I have saved, it will automatically save the sessions. Also it set the paths as well. See, all this X forwarding has been enabled. So now here, if I want to open any Java or GUI prompt, suppose netka is the command to configure your network, listener and TNS things. See here, I got the Java page. So this kind of GUI will open in your mobile XTEM very flexibly. Okay, but in case of our putty, we cannot able to view those things. That is what I'm using this mobile XTEM. Even some companies will not allow to use this mobile XTEM. There could be some restrictions. Okay, but most of the companies they are allowing to use this mobile XTEM. Okay. If they allow, you can use this only. It's very flexible. See, if you want to save the sessions, all the sessions, previous sessions, automatically these sessions will be saved. It will reduce your burden and storing these things and okay. SQL plus as is DBA. My instance or database is not up and running, and so I'm going to start up. This is one SQL command only. Startup is the command for database startup command. So first I'll show you that database SQL command, basic SQL. Show PDBs. It is not a this is not a multi-tenant architecture. It is non-multi-tenant architecture in the 19C database. 19C database. 19C means 19.3 is the basic version in the 19C. 19.1 is there, but standard 19.3. If you download the software, I have downloaded this 19.3 software. I have installed this. So here we need to use SQL commands. Why we need? I want to see the database status, whether my database is up and running or not. I need to use the select query. So select. This is one of the SQL basic SQL query. Select name, comma, open underscore mode. What is the name of the database and what is the mode, open mode status, whether it is mount or we will go through those things in next level, next few sessions. Okay. From database. So this is the view. It stores all the database related information. If you want to read those information from this table, we have to use select query. That is where. So select name comma open mode, 2 columns from this table. I am reading these things. My database name is clone.db and the status is read write. Read write means it is allowed users to connect and they can perform their activities if the user is created inside of this database. Okay, if the user is not there, they cannot perform anything. This is a select query and create query also there. Okay, create username demo1 IDENTIFID identified by password welcome underscore 123. See here, this user has been created. By using create command, I have created the database user. Create user. User is the default like statement. Demo1 is a username. Identified by the password. Identified by the means to authenticate. Is that authenticated user? Non-authenticated user. It is authenticated user. How it will authenticate? By using this password, this user will be authenticated. Okay. So user has been created. But this user cannot connect to this database. We will discuss that as part of user management clearly. Okay. But I want to show you this basic SQL command to create one. If I don't want that user, I can use drop command, drop username. That's it. User has been dropped. If I want to commit, for the drop command, do we need to use the commit? Here we have row. Which command it is a drop? DDL. By default, it is commit. No need to give the commit. Insert, update, delete. You have to give the commit. But drop and create, you no need to give the commit. By default, those are committed statements. That is the example for our basic SQL. That's fine. That is more than enough for us. As a DBA, that basic things is required. Okay. Next, I'm going to show you commands. Okay. OS commands. Why? Because uname is the command to view your operating system version. uname-a. It will show you, and also R also there. If you give the option, it will show you exactly the version of this. EL, Enterprise Linux 7. So OEL, Oracle Enterprise Linux 7 is my operating system version. On top of this operating system version, I have installed this database, 19.3 database. Okay. So to view your, it is also an interview question, how to find operating system version. So in that we can use uname-a or uname-r or just uname also, it is fine. Uname also, it will give you, it won't show you more details, but it will show you it's the Linux, Red Hat, right? It could be another thing, IBM AIX, which operating system, or Windows, but here it is Linux operating system. Okay, that is one thing. Also, we have LS. First, I'll show you PWD, present working directory. Currently, where I am here, home Oracle location. If I want to see what are all the files and directories are there inside of this home Oracle path. Normally, if you are using Windows, okay, suppose I'm using Windows here. If I want to see anything, I will do double click. Okay. And if I click on forward and backward, it will show you all the files and directories. These are all the directories. Okay. Inside of this, these are all not directories. These are all files. That is clear, right? If I could open it, the file will open. But these are all the directories, yellow color. These things all are folder. Type is folder. Similar way, in Linux also, we have an option to identify whether it is a file or it is a folder. Folder, we call it as directory in the OS level. So here it is, ls-ltr. It gives complete details. The file, or this is a file or directory. This is a file. How I can say this is a file? Here it is. It start with hyphen. Starting with hyphen, right? Hyphen means it is a file. A D means it is the directory. Okay, backup is the directory. If I can use CD space backup, if I want to move or inside, if I want to go to inside of the directory, I have to use CD command. CD space the directory name. Now I can see PWD. Earlier I was there at home Oracle location. Now I was home Oracle under backup location. If I want to see the files inside of this backup, I can use ls command. See, if you are giving ls, it won't give the details, whether it is a file, it is a directory, or which user the file is owns, which group the file is owns, when the file is created with the date and timestamp. Those details we will not get it. But if you are using ls-ltr, you will get complete details. If it is a file or directory, it is a file. This is a file or directory, it is a file. Under which user these owns. So Oracle, under Oracle user, this file has been created. And which group? install group. When the file has been created, September 4th, 723, are updated or modified, recently used. This timestamp will show that. Okay. And how much size of this file? This is 2048 KB. And this one 0 KB. Nothing is there inside of this data. In that way, we can able to see by using ls-ltra. And one more, I use a cd space the directory name, right? If I can use cd, and if I'll go one more directory inside of that. If I want to go one step back from where or forward also we can say, I want to go from backup location to home Oracle location. I can use cd -. That's it. One step back I came, right? Earlier I was there here. And one more thing is there. If you want to move from where you came, I can use cd -. Without the path, I will not mention where I need to go. I did not mention that path. But if you could use cd -, you will go where you came from. And same wise, another time if I can use, it will go back again, Oracle home. This is a cd - command. Okay. And I'll show you one more thing. cd u01 or u02 app backup Oracle product. Okay. Present, I moved to this location, u02 location. If I want to go to my home location, from where my home is resides, home means for Oracle user home. Okay, not the database home and all. Oracle, where mean which user I logged in, that by default, when you logged into so-and-so user, you will be there under that user home. Okay. If I want to go, use cd and enter. It will go directly to your home location. Home means Oracle user location only. Clear? That is the cd command. If you want to go specific location, we have to use cd and the specific path, complete path you can mention. Instead of there, I can go this path much only. So u02 app Oracle, that location I went. If you want to see the files, you can use ls-ltr with the details. If you don't want to go inside of that, you don't know where you are exactly. If you want to go to home, press cd and enter. That's it. You will be there in the home path. Okay. Here, if you want to see, not only here, any path, if you want to see hidden files, you can use ls-ltra. A should be there. Okay. Hidden files. Hidden files will start with the dot command. This is a hidden directory. This is hidden directory. This is also hidden directory, and this is a hidden directory, and hidden files will be there. This white color are files. How I can say those are files? Here it is starting with -. That is a file. File we cannot go, like suppose it is there. If it is a file, if I want to change the directory, it is not a directory, right? It will throw an error. Not a directory. It is a file. If you want to file, we can view it by using cat command. Cat space --profile. Okay, it is not a file. Sorry, directory. It is a file. So file we can read it by using cat command. If you want to edit, if I want to modify something inside of this file, I can use vi command. Okay, space. And one more thing, in a Linux system, to select or copy the data, you just select it. That's it. Select means copy. See, and if you want to paste it, you can use right click. Right click is the paste command. Okay, don't give control A. If suppose if I want to use control C to copy, see what happened? Control C I used, it cancelled out. If I want to use control V, it won't work. Command not found. So control C, control V commands means to selecting the specific path or line inside of this, that is called copied. If you want to paste, right click. Suppose if you are using in your real-time system, by mistakenly you have selected in this way, and then you have entered, right click. What will happen? All these things will happen. If it is the production, that will be corrupt. Please make sure you have, while you are using Linux boxes or Linux servers, be aware of this. If you selecting something means that is already copied. If you are using by mistakenly or some other thing, the server will be corrupted. This is one important thing. Okay. Okay, that's it. Cat command also view, right? Okay, let me show you the VI command. DB response is the file. I'm going to edit this. See, it is in edit mode. My cursor is here, right? Edit mode. If I want to insert anything inside of this, I have to use press I button. In the bottom, it will show insert. Not yet pressed. Now I pressed it. So insert. It means ready to write the information. So take this cursor. Okay, write text for demo. I have written. So I have entered the data. If I want to save this, here still it is in insert mode. I can write it. If I want to save, press escape. This insert will go. And then shift colon. If you want to save, use WQ. Shift colon WQ to save this information. Test for demo, save this one. If you don't want to save it, you just escape. Shift Q means it won't save it. It is not allowed me to change or overwrite. I'll use this exclamation symbol to forcefully quit. -Q, shift colon Q exclamation I used. It will forcefully quit of this one. Okay, if it is not working normal Q, you can use exclamation symbol. So I made a change, but that was not saved. If you want to see here. I have again opened whatever I written that is not saved. If I want to write one more time, test demo. Now that's it. I have entered this line only. This line only. Now I want to save. Shift colon WQ. Then WQ means save and quit. W means save. Q means quit. Now let me open this. See here. Once I saved, the file information has been saved inside of this file. So VI is not that much good to open as and when if you are not going to modify or update anything inside of that file, don't use VI command. If you want to read a file, just use the cat command, then press it. You will read it from the top. Go to top and then you can read it line by line. I'll show you that where I have used the cat one. It is a big file. Okay. So in that case, see here, I use the cat command here. This complete file I have. If you want to go through it, you can go line by line where the information is required. Okay. In shell script, if you want to go to specific line, specific number of lines, that also there. If you are more comfortable and more flexible to use the Linux commands, so you have to learn shell scripting. One program or one training will be there. There you can able to view it very flexibly. That is not required as for basic startup or basic knowledge of the DBAs. Okay, so that is one thing. So same file, if I want to view last 10 lines of this file, I don't want to go all these lines, right? Tail-10f, this thing, tail-10f and the file name. So last 10 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Including the space also it will take. Okay. So total 10 lines it is, we are able to read it. If you want to see the 100 lines also, it will post it. That is not required. 20 lines I will give. See, now it is 20 lines. Last 20 lines of this file. Okay. Head and this header of this file. Okay. Head space file. It is the starting lines of this file. So head and tail, in that way we can use it. Okay. We have other commands also. And one more thing, one more important one. If you are new to this environment, once you join, somebody has been given to this Linux box access to you. What are all the commands they used till now on that server? How you can identify? Type history, history, history. It will give last 1000 lines of the history. What are all the commands till now we used on this server? See, these are all the commands which I used. By using history command, we can view it. See here. I'll go through it and explain all these commands. I used VI command, I used PWD, I used CD command, LS command. Okay, xclock I used, exit to exit from this user session. Okay, run installer to install the database one, net manager to configure the listener, to configuring the database, this command I used. To start and stop the listeners, I used lsnrctl. So all this history we can able to see it. This ps-ef pipe grep also one command is there to view your database status. When the database instance is up and running or not, we can use these background processes. By using that also, we can able to see that. So all the history of this server, if you want to see, you can use history command. Okay, and echo is also there. Echo oracle underscore home means it will show you the oracle home path. Okay, echo means show me the same. What it will show? The one which you are giving here, that path only. Echo $oracle home. How it will show directly? It won't read it, right? The server doesn't have any memory like human being, but it is having the smart memory. It will show you as and when you are going to write something. Okay, how it is showing means I have exported this path in my one of the bash profile, that is hidden file, this one. Here I have mentioned the path, my oracle home path. See here, export oracle home, that oracle base location, and this one. What is oracle base location? I mentioned here, this is my base location. We'll go through it as part of installation. I'll tell you what exactly the home and what exactly the base location, what is this SID. So whatever the information we have stored here, those it will show. Echo $. If I want to see SID name, clone DB, that's it. Echo oracle home, echo $. Oracle home, the same which I mentioned, that only it will show. Okay, echo $base U02 app oracle, U02 app oracle, that's it. It is nothing here. It's in a database level. If you want to see anything, we everything is predefined and we only configured. So no worries about it, how it will work, what exactly this is. We will go through one by one. Okay, these are all the basic Linux commands. And also switch one, right? Sudo hyphen. As I said, if I want to connect to root user, just mention. As of now, I connected to Oracle user. I want to connect to root user. Generally, we don't have a root user. As a DBA, they will not give us. But very rarely, some environments, they are going to provide root user also. That is depends on the client to client. But normally, our operating system team is having root user. But it is our demo instances is our purpose only, our own purpose only. So we are using root user. Switch hyphen means root. Here we have to provide root password. That's it. See, I connected to the root user on this server. This is my host name. Host name means server name, where you have installed your operating system and database. Where I have installed, here I have installed on this server. And what is my user login user? Root user. How to identify which user you logged in? ID. If you press ID, it will show you root user. Okay. So this is a root user. Root user is having different prompt. Hash prompt means it is a root user, admin user, very dangerous one. Don't use this until unless if you are not confident. Dollar prompt for normal users. Normal users means it's a root is an admin user on this server, clone DB server. Dollar is normal user. Admin, it is not an admin. This user can do anything. If you log into root user, you can drop the database mount point, not the normal SQL command. That also you can do it. These are all the mount points. This I think I mentioned, I did not mention. df-kh to view all the mount points in your server. This is one command. These are all the mount points. Where I have installed my database I have installed on U02 mount point. df-kh space U02. So that U02 is related under this root location. How much size it is having? 30 GB total. Out of 30 GB, use 24 GB. Availability 6.9 GB. Total usage 78% of this mount point. If it is crossed 90%, we have to ask our OS team. They only maintain this. to add extra storage to this mount point. Once they add it, then the percentage will be decreased. Remaining things we can use it for our own purpose. Okay, that is one thing. So root is very dangerous one. To create a users, Oracle user is there, right? That we have to create. First, we have to ask OS team, they will create it. Then we will log into this Oracle user. Under Oracle user, we have installed our database. We will not install any softwares under root user. Okay, that is not recommended also. Yeah, that's it. This mean if I want to go back to Oracle user, from the root user, any user you can switch it, but that will not prompt a password. Why? Because root is itself, it is a root admin user. Switch it to Oracle. See, now I have switched. If I want to connect other users, if any other user is there, I should have some other user. Let me share this. What are all the users I have? I have Rax Infotech. One more user is there. Let me connect it to Rax Infotech. So for this, it is prompted to the password, right? From Oracle to, if I want to connect it to root or another user, I have to give that Rax info. It could be password issue. Okay, authentication failed. Suppose I have connected to root user. I don't have a password. I don't know that password. Still, okay, still it will allow me to log into this Rax user. See here, through the root user. And also if I want to reset the password for this user, if I don't know the password, right? Exit means from Rax Infotech to exit, it will go to root level. Okay. Pass WD, the username, Rax Infotech. I don't know the password, that's where it is authentication failed, right? I'm just resetting the password. Okay. I am putting the new password, enter the re-enter. That's it. Now I'm going to switch to Oracle. From here, I try to connect with Rax Infotech. Done, right? Now I have resetted the password here through the root user. This is OS users. OS users has been maintained by the root level. Whatever I have created previously through the SQL prompt, that is database users. Those are maintained by DBAs. This one, create user. This is the database user maintained by our DBAs. But whatever the user which I used here, Rax Infotech, Oracle, other things are OS users, operating system users. Those are maintained by the operating system team. If the user is not working, we have to connect with the OS team. That is the difference. Okay. Next session, we are going to start from the Monday, clear-cut architecture. It is very basic thing. If you are knowing this thing, you can easily grab the further sessions and all. Okay. If you have any doubts and or anything, please let me know so that I can take the calls now.